Cooked broccoli in this cup last night, or microwaved up some broccoli. My dinner was a feast of broccoli and ground beef with cheese and barbecue sauce. For any of you non-cookers or single dads, buy yourself 2 or 3 pounds of ground beef every few days and just cook it up and leave it in Tupperware in your fridge. I don't know, adds a protein and a meat to every meal. It's good too. But anyway, I got little broccoli stubbles on my cup. Don't think I should use that cup. Don't want to drink coffee with broccoli stubbles. Do you know what I mean? Good morning, Betty Lynn. Good morning, Julie. Good morning, Riley. Good morning, Taz. You're up feeding chickens and watering, Taz. Almost wants to bring up a conversation that I don't want to bring up. Hello, Lorraine. How are you? I'm pouring myself some coffee. You guys have your coffee yet? I'm gonna get some water soon. Oh yes, I'm gonna get some water. Run along. Oh, I already brought out a cup. Cup with a block of ice in it. Oh, is it ingenious? I think I might try and get some sort of patent on the brilliant idea that it is to freeze a block of ice in the bottom of your cup, saving on ice cubes. Taz is used to city life. Let's see. Well, let's go grab a seat. See how our morning goes and our morning looks. Oh, it's nice. It's nice. What do you mean you're used to city life? I forget where you're from, Taz. I'm gonna put on some slippers. Got a couple new pieces of furniture yesterday. A lamp, that little table, got a end table or a whatever it's called. It goes next. I mean, I don't know. All my tables are kind of do whatever it is I'm going to do with them. That thing cost $10. The lamp, which I'm pretty sure was new because the cord came still wrapped up, was $5. It's some weird kind of cool metalish thing. I got that. It's a table. I planned for it to go in my bedroom as one of my, I don't know, what are they called? Bedside tables? I don't know what they're called. But either way, it didn't fit in there. So right now it's kind of a, I don't know, entry table, shoe stand, something over there. And there's where its partner went. And each of these were $5. Yeah, and again, the lamp was $5 and that table was $10. I'm really enjoying shopping at that Restore. Okay, Newport Beach moved to Tennessee. Is Newport Beach city life? Is California city life? I don't know that it is. How many square feet is my apartment? I don't know. I don't know how many square feet my apartment is. I think it's pretty big size though. I don't really know. I mean, the bathroom's big. The bathroom's about as big as the bedroom. I mean, it's fine. But there's no way I could get a king-size bed in there. Not that I overly want a king-size bed. But even the queen air mattress I have in there fills it up pretty good. There wasn't enough room for a table on each side of the bed. Looks like real gray over there. Guess you're not northeast, Pacific Northwest. I don't know what that means. Hello, Mary. Hello, baby. Somebody's commenting too often. That looks like a chill bachelor pad. My girlfriend and I have been together for so long, I never lived the bachelor life. Well, I was married twice, so this is kind of new to me. I mean, I've had bachelor pads before. I guess it's a bachelor pad. Am I a bachelor? What's the definition of a bachelor even? I mean, I've got 4 kids and I'm twice divorced. Can I be a bachelor? Twice divorced with kids? Is a bachelor just a single man? Because I'm certainly a single man. If you are sharing a bed with a spouse, should the man or provider get the extra pillow or most of the covers? No. What do you mean, most of the covers? Mark Littlejohn, you ask some interesting questions that create interesting discussion, but what do you mean, most of the covers? You can't be a real human being and say, I should get most of the covers, right? I mean, you can't possibly make an argument that as the provider, you deserve most of the covers. I think you might have asked if you should get the biggest piece of meat at the dinner table. And I could make an argument for that because if you are the provider in a sort of caveman go hunting way, you would need the extra calories to go hunt the mammoth. But you can't live such a primitive life. You can't even be a real person if you're saying, should the provider get most of the covers? You know what I mean? Let's see. Yeah, get an extra blanket out of the closet, buy another one. I mean, what are you? I should have most of the covers. I am man. You know, yes, you're gonna have to work it out. Let's see. More meat at dinner. But Randy, at least I can understand the more meat at dinner, and he was. What caused my first 2 marriages to fail? That we weren't supposed to be together. I really think that. And somebody's asking for more advice on how to not mess up a marriage. I think the best way to mess up a marriage is marry the right man or woman for the right reasons. And I don't know what those are, and I don't know what she would look like. But without a doubt, and when I say the wrong woman, I'm not putting the blame on them. I'm just saying they married the wrong man in me, and I married the wrong woman in them. No, it's Gravity Thief says it's communication. I think you're missing a bigger thing. It's not just communication. It's the right person. There's no way in hell, I'm sure of this. I am sure of this. If you get married for the wrong reasons to the wrong person, your marriage is doomed. Yeah, I think we all like try and point fingers and say, oh, it's because they left the towel on the floor in the bathroom or something, or they didn't put the dishes away, or I drank too much, or I didn't like long walks or dogs or cats or city life or country life. No, it's because you married the wrong person. You know? Because they are who they are. And although I believe we should accept differences between us, when a couple argue, how long do you think it is that they should realize that they're not good together and think about separating instead of sticking it out? Well, I don't know what you mean by argue. J. Mills says wrong foundation. Well, wrong foundation is wrong reasons, I guess. I mean, certainly the person is part of the foundation. Yeah. How do you know if it's the wrong person? I don't know. Does life need to be perfect? No, life is not going to be perfect. Well, having moments that you want to hurt each other doesn't sound like a great thing. I need a cup of coffee this morning. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Wednesday morning. It is June 4th. I think it's June 4th. It's 5:44 a.m. Happy Wednesday. This little show I've been doing for quite some time. Show about me talking. Show about me sharing some feelings, sharing a little bit about the ups and downs that we have in life. Sharing my thoughts on all sorts of topics. Some that I'm very well educated on, some I'm not, but I'm still going to share my thoughts if you ask. Man. For those that have been watching a while, though, you know it's not just a show about me talking. You know it's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me, and I am so excited to have my first sip. And my hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, that you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. It's the Sumatra. I missed the Sumatra. I mean, I said I missed the cinnamon dolce. I did miss the cinnamon dolce. Would I tell myself to walk away from the wedding altar? Yes. Yes, I would. Not the first one, but the second one without a doubt. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. I mean, had I not done that, though, I wouldn't be where I am today. And where I am, I think it's in a really good place, in the place I'm supposed to be. Oh, it's so nice. That is so nice. Tempted to go sit on my couch today. Ian Beale needed more CEO daddy energy in his life. I don't know what that means. What is CEO? I have tried catnip. I think it might get you buzzed. I think if you eat catnip, and I don't know if it was in my mind. Somebody asked if I've ever tried catnip. Like once, I think, just for a whim. I think it might get you buzzed. You know? Oh. Would I do it again? Would I do what again? Marriage? Tippy says catnip does get you high. Yeah, no, I thought I felt funny, and I didn't know if it was just the placebo effect. I think it might be a hallucinogenic of some sort, or something. I guess, why do I know what it would be like? What were my bachelor parties like? Did I ever stray from my relationship for one last go-around? That sounds horrible. No, I did not. I don't know why one would. I mean, I guess they'd have a different moral compass. But if you looked at it, one last go-around, I mean, that seems yucky. Yeah, somebody asked, what's wrong with you? Right? Doesn't it sound horrible? What a way to start a marriage. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I mean, one last go around. I mean, even the expression, a go around, seems gross. Maybe I should ignore Mark from now on. Lexi said, there's a clip of a guy that got raided for selling weed, but he was selling catnip, and he smoked it, and he said it did more than weed. He added it ain't illegal. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that I would recommend getting hooked on catnip any more than weed. I mean, I tried it. I've never tried it again. I'm not totally sure, and I don't even know if we should be talking about this. I've done no research on the psychedelic or drug effects of catnip. Oh. Wow. We're having too large of conversations about weed the last few days, maybe. Reserve your heart to the pain of love and healed by something else so that you don't get lost. Take your coffee with pleasure. Well, I don't know. Let's see. I don't know what I gotta do. I don't know what I have to do, but I'm gonna have to do something for a little while. I'm gonna have to do something for a little while. Let's see how this goes. Good morning, Timothy. How are you? Proximity. I am in Wisconsin. Oh, wait. Oh no, I just touched something. It's weird. If you touch the screen, weird things can happen. Suddenly I had a green screen behind me. I don't want a green screen behind me. I imagine you can do like video editing things if you set up a green screen. Good morning, Larry Larson. Good morning, JK. Julie, nice. Are you saying nice that I went to subscriber only? Or nice that I set up a green screen behind me? I had to switch to subscriber only because we're getting too much outside noise. Too many silly comments and distractions. People pretending to be somebody they're not. Have I ever been to Washington State? No, I haven't. I actually don't, I don't know. I heard the eastern side of Washington state is fairly barren and desert-like. Reminds me of where I was living in Wyoming last year, where it was fairly drier than weather should be. Look, that's why I had to flee back to the Midwest, where it could be rainy. You are in Eastern Washington. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't have any desire to be in Eastern Washington. It almost bummed me out on my whole view of the state because I was picturing Washington and Oregon as this, and I don't know why, I know better, but like a lush, almost rainforest-like climate. And I had a viewer here, I don't know where he went, but he's around maybe. I don't know. I think he lived in Eastern Washington state. And he was saying it's like a desert there. Yeah, somebody's saying Eastern Washington. But you could say that about California, and I'm sure about Oregon. I drove through California several times. And along the coast, I'm sure Northern California is quite green, but even in Southern California along the coast is fairly green. But if you go west of the mountains, it's desert. You have good fishing over there at the Columbia River. I bet you do. Bet you catch a lot of salmon. I'm loving Wisconsin, but I'll be honest, I can't, okay. Look, I know life's not perfect. I can't tell you how pleased I am living where I do in the community, some might call it quaint, community of Appleton, Wisconsin, that I do. But a couple things I think could be better around here, or I have to learn where to do them more. My fishing and my golf. The coffee shops are amazing. Record stores, bars, the people, the traffic, the work, the beards, the camouflage, even the Green Bay Packers gear. I'm okay with all of it. But so far, I have yet to catch a fish, and the golf has been okay. And I think I was spoiled living in the suburbs of Chicago with all the concentrated money of, I don't know, a greater metropolitan area of maybe 10 million people can bring. And here living in Appleton, there might be 150,000 people on a radius. There's just not as many people, so there's not as much needs for golf courses. Let's see, somebody's asking. We have a block party coming up on our street. I want to grill out, but another member of the party planning committee wants to buy a food truck. How would I resolve? Vote? I don't know. How would you resolve? A duel? How is the crime? We foreigners always fear the American crime rates. I would guess that the crime rate in America is vastly overblown in foreign countries. I lived in Chicago. I actually lived within like 2 miles of a famous, dangerous area, if you will, that's now gone. It was called Cabrini Green. And I think the crime rate is overblown. I don't currently live in a big city. But if you're a foreigner and you're worried about the crime rate, there's places you probably won't want to put on your visiting map. There's neighborhoods that, you can probably skip over while you're visiting Chicago or LA or New York City or New Orleans or what have you. I mean, we got some areas where the crime rate's unfortunately high. But I think if you come to the United States and visit, you don't need to fear crime. You'll be fine. Good morning, Opal. Why is it gone, though? Oh, the neighborhood, Cabrini Green? My first instinct was that it was a dangerous place to live for the people living there. And maybe that's true. It was public housing, and they were high rises. And if anyone's ever seen the TV show The Jeffersons, that was supposed to be set in Cabrini Green, I believe. You can look out the window in The Jeffersons, and it looked like a Cabrini Green building. But it was they were like high-rise buildings in a really tough neighborhood. But I think it wasn't the crime that caused it to be taken down. It was the fact that, I'm going to guess, that developers wanted to, it was valuable land, and developers wanted to build expensive housing. And that's why it was taken out. Good morning, dude. Lexi got here when I was talking about catnip. You thought that was the vibe. My bad on the silly comments. I don't remember your silly comments, or I almost called you catnip person. Projects, yes. Do the police in Appleton have the support of the citizens? Oh, did I say the Jeffersons? Okay, Dan Mechanic, you're right. Did I call it the Jeffersons? It was good times. I meant good times. Good times. You're right. I said the Jeffersons, but I meant good times. There are 20 golf courses within a 15-mile radius of Appleton. Well, I've only seen the 3. I wonder how many of those are private courses, because I know there's one that looks fairly nice, but it's private. Yeah. Was the war on drugs a success? I mean, I don't know. Was the war on drugs a success? I mean, I don't know. Like a lot of government stuff, it created a lot of jobs, created a lot of criminals. Wonder how much it really accomplished. Yeah, I wonder how much it really accomplished. Good morning, Beverly. How are you? How you guys liking? Are you guys happy that it's subscriber only? Am I from Colorado? No, I'm not. That's orange eye for Illinois. Way better, yes, said Obsidian. Watching me from Louisiana, yes, subscriber only is better, fewer trolls. Yeah. I had somebody pretending to be my ex-wife that's been tuning in for days. They used her name, used her picture, but I knew it wasn't her. And now they're gone. It's weird. Oh, am I serious? Yes. Lexi is in Cornwall, United Kingdom. Is Cornwall, I assume it's England? Yeah, no, it's very weird. That would mess your damn head up. I've gotten pretty good at it, though. You know, I got weird people like following that are obsessed with me. A little seaside town. It is weird, Taz. One of the most beautiful areas of England. Cornwall? I haven't spent much time in England. I had a cousin reach out. Most of my cousins, I only have one cousin left in the United States. I only have one sibling left in the United States, one parent. It's amazing. I went down to the suburbs of Chicago yesterday, where I spent most of my life. My connections to it are so few and far between these days. I mean, I have friends. My two older girls live there. I have my church there. Yeah. You're from England and you ended up in Louisiana. I would imagine Louisiana is vastly different than England, where everyone is prim and proper. I like to think everyone in England is prim and proper. I know my cousins, they weren't prim nor proper. I mean, they were regular human beings, but they certainly weren't uppity. Let's see. JK says London is dirty and nasty, though, is it? Well, JK, you live in Philadelphia, don't you? I think JK lives in Philadelphia, or he might live in Pittsburgh, but I'm going to say Philadelphia. And I would imagine Philadelphia can be fairly dirty and nasty, and I'm assuming London generally isn't. Oh, Pittsburgh. Is Pittsburgh dirty and nasty? Is London really dirty and nasty? I mean, is New York City dirty and nasty, or Chicago, or New Orleans, or Miami? I think there's certainly pockets of each. Okay, well, you say Philly is dirty. We'll just say dirty and nasty. Okay, Lexi agrees that London is dirty and nasty. I heard that about Paris. I always dreamed someday I'd find a woman and go visit Paris. But I haven't heard great things about Paris. And now I'm hearing not great things about London. Nobody bad talk Edinburgh, please. Beverly wants to know where I am. I live in Wisconsin, Beverly. I lived here for not even 4 months. Just think about that. It hasn't even been 4 months. I moved here on February 12th. The reason I know that, for anybody wondering, is because 2 days after moving here was Valentine's Day. And I went to see a movie by myself in Oshkosh, Wisconsin on Friday. And I came up here on a Wednesday. His and her, well, we got somebody from South Africa. Welcome from South Africa, Marinda. How are you? We've got a fun audience today. It's not as vast as sometimes it is because we're set to subscriber only. To be fair, there are good and bad areas in most cities. Yes, there are. Let's see. Okay, well, I don't mind reading some of this. Do I want to read what In Holy Chains said? I don't know if I want to read for what In Holy Chains says. Is there dating material in Appleton? Yeah, no, I think there's plenty of beautiful women. I haven't dated yet. I'm not in a rush. I'm just kind of gathering, putting the pieces of life back together after it exploded. And deciding what I need to do. And I think when the time is right, I'll meet a woman and it'll be good, and we won't go to Paris, we won't go to London, we'll go to Cornwall, England. We'll honeymoon. She'll go, why Cornwall, England? I go, well, on June 4th, 2025, I was doing my coffee show. By the way, before we get married, you better know I do a coffee show every morning where I talk to a vibrant audience here on YouTube. But enough about that. But anyway, on June 4th, 2025, somebody from Cornwall, England hopped on and said it was the most beautiful area of England. And then a viewer from Pittsburgh that I only know as JK said London is a dump, so we can't go there. Somebody is from Albania. I visited the USA, it's beautiful, and I like the diversity of your country. All right. We've got a lot of crime in South Africa. Miranda, yeah, in South Africa, I wonder. You have a lot of crime. Huh. Huh. I often will have a subject that I'd like to dive deeper into. But I wonder, how deep do I want to go? In South Africa, when I was a kid, was famous for apartheid. And I'm not sure what the definition of apartheid, but to me, it was a vast minority of white British people ruling a country in Africa with kind of a somewhat iron fist, if you will. And I guess apartheid that ruling class system got turned over, I don't know, in the last 20 years, I think. And I think that, not in a violent revolutionary way, but still turned over. And I think when you're ever probably turning over a country, there's probably going to be a lot of crime. Somebody said we've got a lot of crime in Albania, Europe, but we have a lot of tourists. Vienna, Austria is a beautiful city. You highly recommend going there. I only chuckle because I watch a lot of World War II documentaries, and Hitler got kind of started in Vienna. It looks pretty. That's all I got about that. I'm sure there's a lot of history. What I love about Scotland is the history and the old buildings and the castles, and my cousins. But I bet if you go throughout Europe, there's a ton of cool history stuff that if the stuff that was fortunate not to get destroyed during World War II, you go to some cities and I think most of the stuff is gone. It's kind of amazing that Paris didn't get ravaged during World War II. I guess they just kind of threw up their hands and said, take us over. Yeah, let me get a little more coffee. Ugh! They spared the city of Vienna. Yeah. Like who spared the city? I guess the Allies? Because Vienna was on the side, or Austria was on the side of the Nazis, pretty much. There was a big Nazi party in Austria, and they were German folks, sort of. Miranda blames the crime in South Africa. I don't know if she blames it. Okay, she's maybe not blaming it. So I shouldn't say that. Do I think he really died like he claimed he did? They claimed he did. Nah. I started to doubt that. Seems too suspicious to me. Seems too suspicious to me. If I was drafted in World War II, would I take up arms or draft dodge? Well, I wouldn't draft dodge, so I would take up arms, but I'd be scared as heck, I'll tell you that. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. They still have the balcony in Vienna where Hitler gave his famous speech annexing Austria in '38, and the apartments where he lived when he was a poor beggar. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, JK, you seem well traveled for a man from Pittsburgh. If you're drafted, just seem incompetent. Well, I mean, I don't expect to be drafted these days. I'm 56. The United States, God willing, is currently relatively a peaceful place. I was watching the news. I don't recommend watching the news generally, but I'm still amazed. I got a TV about a week ago, and you can hook into TV without paying for anything, just through the Wi-Fi. I watch a ton of good movies on Tubi, and I don't know how, but somehow I get news channels and a bunch of channels just through the Wi-Fi without paying anything. It's really quite nice. Let's see. JK loves World War II history as well. It's going to be a rough war if we're expanding draft ages to include 56-year-olds. Again, you're getting me started. It's hard not thinking of the final days of Germany when they were having kids and old men, maybe even women. Probably, I think women too, take up arms to defend the fatherland. Berlin still has a lot of buildings where you can see World War II damage from the Soviet Army siege. Germany would be interesting to go to because now you can travel freely through it. But for most of, I mean, not most of my life. When did the wall come down? 1990, so I was 22 then. So most of my life, Germany's been one nation. But for a good chunk of my life and a good chunk of most of my getting educated years, there was the Iron Curtain, and half of Germany was on the other side of that. And I wonder how different it is if you travel to what was then East Germany versus when you travel to West Germany. Or if getting to Berlin, how weird is that? Berlin was behind the Iron Curtain, yet divided in half between, East and Western countries. Should we have a draft, or is the evidence of a draft evidence that we shouldn't be in war? We certainly shouldn't have a draft right now. I believe in smaller government and drafting kids that are 18 to go into the military against their will without a dire need to protect our country seems crazy. Germany got screwed after both wars. I don't know. I mean, Germany's still doing pretty darn well. And they kind of got screwed after the first war. But after the second, it seemed kind of like Germany was trying to take over most of the world. Or at least most of Europe. I think he might have been okay leaving Britain alone. But he wanted to make up for what happened during World War I for sure. Beverly says, will we see me tomorrow? Only if you're here. Cape Town is the most beautiful place on earth, says Mirinda. I bet it is real pretty. I don't know much about South Africa, but I bet it is real pretty. Philadelphia and California were beautiful, somebody says from Albania. Jared says the Cold War was whether the US or Russia got Europe after World War II. But the Cold War went on a lot longer than that. And I think it was bigger than that even. It was, which system is right? Capitalism or communism or, yeah. Well, thank you for chatting, and give your 2-month-old a kiss for me. Let's see. 1946 to 1991. Sounds about right. Let's see. We have a nice conversation. Rob Zomini. Germany picked a fight with too many countries at once. Which led... Hitler was known to be on amphetamines, which led to poor impulse control. Yeah, no, it really seems silly. I mean, he walked into France and took it over. France, anybody watching from France, I think you guys should be kind of embarrassed how easily he took over your country. I'll let Belgium and Luxembourg and those countries, I'll forgive them. But France, you were supposed to have a big, powerful, you were an empire. He kind of walked in and took over. Well, we got a great conversation about World War II going on. I have people hopping on every day going, what's this stream about? And they want to know like what the subject is, like we're talking about baking cookies or something. But it's really wherever the conversation takes us. I like to think I'm a bit of a Renaissance man. And I'm able to converse about a wide variety of subjects. History with Ken. If there is a plate of appetizers at a dude's night or banquet, do you have any qualms about taking the last one? I would be more likely to take the first one than the last one at an appetizer plate. Usually somebody needs to break the ice when it comes to eating. And I think a lot of people are hesitant in trying to be polite and not be the first to get the food started. So sometimes I almost feel it's my responsibility to break the seal on the audience and get people starting to eat. I'd probably feel somewhat reserved to take the last one, but I might have it anyway. Tubu says, coffee with Ken is the best. I have the most honest conversations. Rob Zombie believes that almost one doesn't count. Yeah, but it almost counts. I mean, it's Germany and Hitler created an amazing amount of death and destruction for one country. I mean, I know there was, Italy was there and Japan was there too. But even, so the U.S. came in kind of late relatively in the war. But he still managed to gobble up huge swaths of land. A lot of it was in the Soviet Union, which was probably loosely defended, maybe. I mean, I doubt the people that defended Western Russia thought they were loosely defending it. And apparently, Germany got pretty darn close to Moscow. Rob Zombie, yeah, no, I kind of feel that too. They felt that Germany didn't start World War I and got a raw deal responsible for all the debt. Hence the anger in World War II against certain factions. Yeah, no, I don't doubt it. Jared says he can't really say his opinions about World War II because they're not socially acceptable. Well, I don't want you to say anything too yucky, because there's still a lot of understandable raw passion about that. All right, Olsi, who's from Albania, wants me to tell him the truth about China. Is just USA are waiting for the wrong move from China and after that attack? I don't think we're planning to attack China. I sure hope not. I sure hope not. I mean, I think I'm still hopeful that the U.S. and China can get along well. In no way affiliated, said his wife is half Italian, half German. He calls her 2/3 of the evil axis. Too bad she didn't. And she shouldn't have married you. She should have found a Japanese man to marry. And their offspring should have been named the Axis. Let's see. My family left Germany to move to Detroit during World War II. We still have letters that were sent back and forth for those who stayed. Yeah, no, crazy times. Crazy times. Oh, and that's what brought it up earlier. I saw yesterday on the news. I got totally distracted because I was talking about my free TV news. And I was saying, don't watch the news. And then we started talking about World War II. But either way, somebody said there's 1.5 million casualties from the Ukraine-Russian war, which was much larger than I thought. Why do they put casualties in one category, like injury and death? You know, because certainly a casualty of war, well, I mean, if you lose an arm or something, that's seriously a casualty. I don't know if you know what I mean, or if I'm being cold or callous. Not wanting to count the injured in with the dead. But it seems we should count the dead and maybe count the injured in a separate category. JK said casualties to list those that cannot fight on the battlefield anymore. Okay, well that makes sense. Also said, because here in Europe, we are thinking that the U.S. is waiting to invade China. No, we're not going to attack China. We don't want to attack China. I don't think most people really have a big beef with China. I mean, they're a world power, and they're economically super powerful. But I don't think that most of us, I mean, I don't have any real bad thoughts about China. I mean, do we? I mean, most of the stuff we buy is purchased in China. Yeah, no, I don't. I don't think most of us have a very negative feelings towards China. I don't think. I could be wrong. Hello, Easy BCLS. How are you? Good morning, Sapori. How are you? I'm doing well this morning. I'm fairly hungry. I was up early. Oh, was I up early today? Like 4:50. I had some thoughts bouncing around my mind. Thought about things I was grateful for. Thank God for a little bit. God told me to get my ass out of bed. It was strange. He told me to get my ass out of bed, but he did. Make some coffee and get my day started. And here I am with you. Yeah, well, see, I'm not always right on everything, but I'm trying my best and sharing my thoughts. How many coffees do I drink a day? Boring question. I don't know. I don't count. I don't concern myself as many or as few as I want. Do I think about my next future purchase? Well, I purchased a few things yesterday. I purchased a couple of end tables and a lamp. I spent $29 yesterday at Restore. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm thinking about. I don't have any money. But if I did, as I was walking into the Restore, by the way, I saw a Honda Goldwing. For anyone that has ever ridden on two wheels, you probably know what the Goldwing is. The Goldwing is the really big touring bike that you'll see out and about. It's 1,800 cc's. It must weigh a ton, almost literally. And I think it's a very smooth, easy ride to travel long distance on. And I, last summer, had a scooter and rode across the country and loved that trip. And when I saw this motorcycle, I thought, hey, maybe I could get one of these and do some touring around the country on it. So, although I'm not really planning to run out and buy one, it piqued my interest. RVs always pique my interest. Scooters pique my interest. But those are a little longer term. A house piques my interest. As far as for the house, the next thing I need is like a little speaker to listen to music on. Yeah, Restore is really cool. All right, we'll talk about Restore a little bit. Let's bring my coffee over here. Give us a better chance to talk about Restore. It's people donate furniture and housing supplies that they're not using or don't need anymore, and they donate them. Restore is run by Habitat for Humanity that builds houses for people that need houses built. And so people donate. There's various ways they raise money, but one of them is have people donate to a retail store called Restore. Yesterday I went there. I bought this lamp, which I think is new, for $5. Somebody had donated. The reason I think it's new is the cord was wrapped up perfectly and looked like it had never been used. There was even a light bulb in it. I purchased it for $5. The table it's sitting on, I bought for $10. This table right here, I bought for $20. That table right there, I paid $10 for. And again, it's fun because you don't know what you're going to get there. And people drop off all sorts of things. And if you're furnishing an apartment on a budget, or even not, if you like the fun of the treasure hunt, I think it's a great place to shop. let's see. Is there any special lingo or gestures in the bike community or scooter community? Well, I would say only one that I can think of, and it's holding your two fingers out as you're passing another biker. And I don't know if it's what the significance is really about it, but I think it's kind of cool. Partially, I feel like I'm saying hey to other bikers. Partially, I feel like I'm telling them to be safe or acknowledging them, because I think if you are riding on two wheels, you're taking a different look at the world than people that are driving a car. And you're seeing the world in a different perspective that almost only other people on bikes can understand. Do I ever delve into cryptocurrency? Well, no. I think cryptocurrency is just a scam, and I don't care if it goes up a lot without me. But I have no interest in it. I think there's no value in cryptocurrency. Hey, Olsi Divershi sent me €1.99. Well, thank you so much, Olsi Divershi. That was very kind of you. It looks like €1.99 is worth $2.27. How fun is that? Chapter Chaser saw a biker tap their helmet yesterday as he went by another biker. Okay. Well, thank you, Olsi. This coffee's on you. I did a little reading yesterday. Now that I've got a lamp and a couch, by the way, and an end table, one of my viewers, I don't know if she's watching today, recommended the book, You Are Not Your Brain. And it's something I've kind of been thinking about for a long time, and realizing there's a difference between your thoughts and who you are as a person. And I used to merge the two and let my negative thoughts run wild and define how I define myself as a person. And if I had negative thoughts or depressing thoughts, I thought I was depressed, but I realized thoughts are just little impulses, and if you recognize them as that, you can have more control over your feelings and your life and the direction you're going. Yeah, the name of the book is You Are Not Your Brain, the 4-step solution for changing bad habits, ending unhealthy thinking, and taking control of your life. I'm not very far into it. It's kind of heavy reading a little bit. I'm only 22 pages in, to be honest. It's almost written like almost like a textbook. I mean, it's not like entertaining reading or something. I think it was written by a couple doctors that studied thoughts and people and mental health. Oh, well, thank you again, Olsi. Do hot rod drivers look down on scooter guys at truck stops or greasy spoons? Hot rod drivers, you mean like, a hot rod to me is a car. You mean like a motorcycle driver? Well, Taz, go get the book. Go get the book. JK, you better watch what you're saying. I don't think anybody looked down on me when I was driving across the country. I'm sure in some circles, the guys that are trying to pretend they're more macho than other guys might mock people that ride scooters. But I think once they got to know me, I wasn't intimidated by them, and they probably thought in some ways I was way crazier than they were, because I had the guts to drive a scooter across the country. Yeah. So, yeah. How do you guys feel down there? Are you comfortable with this angle? Can I throw up my legs? Are you too far away? What kind of scooter? It was a Suzuki Bergman 400. I'm gonna go get myself some more coffee. Suzuki Bergman 400, and I drove it from Chicago to Yellowstone last year, where I worked as a waiter during the summer. I was twice divorced and was having a hard time keeping a roof over my head and covering my financial responsibilities as I was switching careers and rediscovering life, if you will. And had an opportunity to go work in Yellowstone and wait tables, which I'd done a couple different times in my life. But I didn't own a car, and I owned a scooter. So I got on my scooter and rode across the country, and it was awesome. Let's see, what kind of scooter? I'm sure he ain't going to the skate park to encounter scooter haters. Miranda says she overthinks things. A lot of people do, Miranda, and I think the best thing to do is acknowledge that you overthink things and maybe learn to be okay with your thoughts. And I think once you get okay with your thoughts, you can kind of look at them with a more rational mind and go about dealing with them in a healthy fashion. Somebody's saying, was it a Vespa or a Honda? It was a Suzuki. It was neither a Vespa nor a Honda. Vespas make cool bikes, but they don't seem like cruising bikes, like a type of scooter I'd travel across the country on. If you saw what a Suzuki Bergman looks like, you'd think it kind of looks like a motorcycle. And it seems more appropriate to cruise long distance on than maybe a Vespa would. Honda's got some big bikes as well. Oh, but anyway, wow, we talked for over an hour today. Another great audience. We got 74 people watching. We got 41 thumbs up. Hello from the Philippines. I don't know how long I'm going to talk for, but if you're new to my page, please subscribe. Yeah, not a push scooter. Did I ever ride around Yellowstone with a coworker on the back? Did I ride around? The time I had a coworker who did not have a car, and we lived I was working at Mammoth Hot Springs in the restaurant there, and a guy that worked as a bartender didn't own a car, and we lived, I think it was 5 miles up the mountains from a little town called Gardner, Montana. Occasionally people would walk that road, and it was a crazy twisty road down a mountain. And I knew I was getting on my scooter to drive down to Gardner, and he came out the door and was headed the same way, and I go, man, do you just want to hop on the back? I'll ride you. And I mean, I'd never ridden with a guy on the back of my bike before. But we got down and safely, and I went to a coffee shop. He went to a different coffee shop. He ended up getting in some trouble last night. There was a lot of people there that I think had issues with drinking. Maybe it's the people that work in the service industry a little bit, but also the people that might be attracted to working in a national park, maybe are trying to get away from something or find something or discover something about themselves. And maybe because of that, have troubles with substance abuse. And I think this guy did. And he ended up getting in trouble that night, the night I drove him to Gardner, Montana. Yeah. Yeah. Is there a handle or do they grab onto you? Larry, a lot of times, I mean, there's things in the back they can hold on to. I'd feel more, I used to drive around with my ex-wife all the time. I felt better when she was holding on to my shoulders or something, just so, you know, if I ever took off a little quick, I don't want whoever would be on the back not being prepared and falling off. People, it's unbelievable, but Ken look like Arnie Sloop, coach of Liverpool. I've heard I look like the coach of Liverpool. I also heard like that I look like the Prime Minister of New Zealand, like Bruce Willis, like Howie Mandel, The Rock, Hank from Breaking Bad, and other bald men. So I hear all that a lot. Thank you, Taz. I do look like Ken. Unique One says, I look like Ken. Well, thank you. Grace, I almost forgot about you. But now that you're here, I'm counting down to your 28th birthday. I'm very excited. Grace, if you were 20 years older, do you have an older sister or maybe even a mother that's single, that knows something about plants, that would be willing to come to Wisconsin and help me buy some plants? Oh, Grace, if you only did. Maybe an aunt. For those who just are tuning in, Grace lives in Iowa. She's into plants. I need somebody to help. I got some places to put some plants, Grace, by the way. I don't know, I could probably put one there. I got a little table here now. I got a few tables, places I could put some plants. It'd be cool if we could hang some plants down there. Lexi, you're from further away than Grace is. And you need a green card. Well, it's perfect, Grace, but again, I don't know. No, I know. I know how Grace is. That's why I was hoping she had a aunt or something. We're just talking about buying me plants. But the trip from Iowa to Wisconsin's awfully long to just buy plants. What is my birth month? Hey, Miranda's in South Africa. I wonder if she'd come and buy me plants. Now that's a long trip to buy plants. What kind of plant help do I need? I don't know. I need somebody to go buy some and put them here. I mean, I could probably do it. For a while, again, I'm twice divorced. My second ex-wife made all the decisions. And so when we got separated and divorced, I felt kind of helpless because she would make all the decisions. And, but I'm really proud of how I furnished my apartment and without any real outside help. And I think it looks great. I could probably buy some plants. I could probably do it on my own. Probably put some sort of like tree plant right there. And I don't know, go from there. Probably don't need to do it all at once. Probably next time I see something that would look cool, that would fit right there. I should buy something for right there and just start small and kind of add to it. Wow, what a great audience. We got 80 people. 80 people watching, or 79 people watching. Let's see. Oh, we got lots of things. Purple lettering next to your guys' names. I think that's new. Active commenters on YouTube channels now get like purple crowns by their name. Miranda's got one. Larry Larson has one. Although Miranda didn't have one a minute ago. Is today my day off? No, it's not, Grace. I had the last 2 days off, and I enjoyed the heck out of them. But I'm back to work today. Rebuilding myself and doing moving forward as best I can every day and trying to make good decisions for the future while not thinking too far ahead. Yeah. What are my favorite pizza toppings? Sausage, pepperoni, and black olive. Well, thank you, Miranda. I think my apartment does look great. It feels great. It's got huge windows. It's right in downtown. It's somewhat affordable and feels great. Hey, Olsey, thank you for tuning in today. And hopefully you subscribe to my page. Hopefully you subscribe to my page and tune in. I go live every morning, Olsey, so thanks for hopping in. Grace says she always gets anxious going back to work, even just after the weekend. Yeah, I get that a little bit. You almost think you forgot how to do it. But then you get there and you start doing it and everything kind of works out. Easy BCLS suggests mushrooms and bell peppers. Again, I don't think I'm going to be growing food stuffs here. Yeah. But anyway, it's almost 7 o'clock. I woke a little early this morning. Finished up watching the movie Platoon last night and was glad I finished it because it kind of made me remember liking Charlie Sheen a lot as an actor. And it was a kind of violent, hard to watch movie at times about the Vietnam War that was made during the 80s. And it was a good movie or a powerful movie or a moving movie. And I finished it and then fell asleep watching a documentary about killers from the Old West. I'll tell you what, it was hard to get off my futon. I was pretty comfy sleeping on it. And took me a while, but woke up on here and laid there going, I'm pretty comfy. Do I really need to go to bed? And I drifted back off to sleep and eventually found my way in bed. Woke up around 4:45 this morning, so I don't know how much sleep I got. I'm feeling a little relaxed and tired. I'm rebuilding my financial self after a 2-year divorce and moving forward in a bunch of different ways. But probably going to go get a quick workout in, probably going to go donate plasma, probably going to come back here and have a big lunch and maybe get some rest, and then going to go into work later this afternoon and hopefully bring a great attitude and work real hard and move myself forward in a lot of positive ways today. And hopefully be kind to myself and friendly to the people I meet. Grace wants to know if donating plasma hurts. Not really. I used to donate blood all my life. I think it's for a good cause. A few years ago, somebody I was a realtor, and I went a few months without a closing, and I go, crap, I'm out of money. What do I do? And somebody suggested I donate plasma. For anybody that needs extra cash and wants to do something that helps the world, go donate plasma. It's easy, relatively painless, and for about an hour time, you make $60. And more money's better than less. Your son wants to be an Army SEAL in the U.S. I saw a platoon. Well, you're from South Africa. I don't know how hard it would be to get in the military if you're South African, if your son is South African, Marinda. Or how much you know about the military here in the United States. Maybe not at all. But the SEALs are a branch of the Special Forces of the Navy, not the Army. Not to correct you, my nephew's a Navy SEAL. But if you wanted to go into the Special Forces for the Army, you'd be a Ranger, I believe, or a Green Beret. Hey, Taz, thank you for joining. Any cute phlebotomist at the Plasma Center? I mean, probably. Probably. I'm not there very long to relation build. But anyway, I'm looking forward to my day, and I want to get it started. Again, I'm going to finish up this coffee, probably get on some jeans, maybe go down to the gym on the way to my car and get a workout in, a really quick workout. Head over and maybe get back here later in the morning and have time for lunch and some rest before I go into work. But I'm looking forward to my day and looking forward to getting a little better and improving myself and being kind to myself. That's where it starts, I think. And if you're looking to get a little better, I think being kind to yourself is a good place to begin. So I'd recommend starting there. But I want to thank you guys so much for joining today. And again, it is Wednesday morning. I hope your week is going well and you're feeling good and you're loving yourself and you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.